I know you mentioned this other presentation from telepathy sort of. I don't want to call it an experiment, but let's just say presentation. Are there any other things like that that you're looking forward to, or something like
We
that?
have Ross Coulthart, who's going to firsthand tell us, what he's uncovered, and it'll be great because a lot of us watch the News Nation piece. This guy also is the one behind the Grusch video from a couple of years ago. So
Sure.
I think he'll be
And Jake Barber, right, with the psionics and all that, right?
He
I'm
did that
assuming
as
that'll
well.
be a big part of his presentation.
I'm sure it will, and he's going to talk at our banquet as well. I mean, it's incredible. The only guy that couldn't make it in person was Avi Loeb, but we do have Avi Loeb coming via video. And Avi's always awesome too. And he's going to do a presentation this year, which he has not done before. So I don't know. Have you ever interviewed Avi? He's awesome.
I did actually. He's the first interview I ever did on this channel.
Oh my God, how awesome!
Yeah, yeah. First interview, and then I'm actually going to speak to him again Friday. So
he's
I'm gonna
great in the Galileo project. Everything they're doing. This is the kind of stuff I can get behind and get on board with.
Sure.
And Danny Sheehan's New Paradigm Institute. These are all people doing these things for the right reason, moving the ball in the right direction, as far as I'm concerned. So we like to align ourselves with that the best we can. Because there is a lot of nonsense and a lot of misinformation and disinformation and all of that. So we try to get the cream of the crop and try to get people that are in this for the right reason, aren't selling books. They're selling what they've found, or a lot of these guys are devoted to this because something happened to them or they've uncovered something. Richard Dolan's a historian, and he just finds this data and he's like, it's compelling. This is where it's leading me,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't really mind the books and documentary. Like I'm not in that camp of calling people grifter. It's like, what are you talking about? This is an industry. It's like, don't buy the book. If you don't want the book, don't buy the book. But they're writing a book. You could buy it. Like, I don't get it.
But they didn't do this just because they could write a book to sell books. That's an ass backwards way to look at this. How about they discovered something, they found some information. Maybe the world would like to see this. I'm going to write it down. We should be thankful to them, is my view. Now, not to say there's not some grifters out there. Sure. But, the vast majority are the people that we try to vet, if you will. We feel they're more credible.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always said that on the show. Like, I don't see any again, it's freedom. Like, just don't get it. If you don't want it, don't get it. Who cares? They're doing their thing. If people want it, why can't they get it? Right? If there's people that want that book, why can't they get the book? Like, I just don't get it. Or documentaries.
I don't either. The world's upside down to me, man. I don't get
whatever.
It.
I mean, I sell t-shirts. I'm very transparent about this. Is a business for me. This is how I pay my bills. This isn't free to bring all this information out, right? It's not free to put on a conference. It's not free to do. I mean, it's just how the world works. It has nothing to do with UFOs. That's just logistics, right? It's like it's crazy to me.
You know that Contact is now actually a nonprofit.
Okay,
we're genuinely a nonprofit. I mean, it costs a lot of money to put this on.
Absolutely.
I mean, people just have no idea. They all talk like this can be put together in a weekend. It's like we work all year.
No. My cousin owns a medical company, and he puts on a conference every year, a medical conference every year, and it is very costly. Let me tell you, like putting on a conference and the logistic, putting it together, it's.
Try to get 4 buddies to go out for beers on Friday night. See how hard that is. Now get 70 people from around the world, from different genres, to all come the same weekend and fly them in on the same day, and get 2,000 plus attendees to go. It's insane. It's insane.
Absolutely. So I just don't support that. Oh, they did great. It's like, okay, look, I honestly, I just don't even consider it. But man, I think conferences like this actually hold a pretty strong position in like the UFO community, and it should more. I think more people start going to this, it starts becoming a bigger thing, and more information can come out of it, right? And just kind of help just present the information. That's what I'm big on, right? Present the information, everyone decide for themselves, but creating a venue and a space for that information to be presented and discussed, dude.
I could not agree more. I think
killing it.
really important in this community. Another thing that I think is important in this community, which we've expanded this year, we thought of doing last year, is you don't get this news on CNN. You get this news through where? Podcasters like yourself.
Yeah.
So we are like kind of making that part of our show. We're bringing in all these big podcasters to do their show live at Contact in the Desert, and you can sit and watch them 5 feet away, and or I'm sure many of them will take questions from the audience, which will be great. And we're bringing in like Need to Know with Ross Coulthart and Bryce Zabel. Jesse Michels is doing his show live there.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know that. Oh,
Last
that's awesome.
podcast
I know Chris Ramsay.
Chris Ramsay's doing his show there.
Love
Last
Chris.
podcast on the left. Those guys they have a huge show and they're great. They came last year. Now this year they're all in. They're going to come do it live. I mean, that's another fun aspect. We've added the podcasters and filmmakers. We have four world premiere films in this genre coming out. And they're going to date each night of Contact is a brand new world premiere documentary, which is unbelievable.
Let's go.
And they're all great. We've seen them. And, it's Dean Alioto, Ron James, James Fox.
Wait, is Ron James premiering The Accidental Truth next or the second one? No way.
World premiere.
Let's go. All right.
Dean Alioto is going to premiere part 2 of The Alien Perspective. He's going to show both of his films.
Okay.
And then we
haven't heard of those.
They're awesome. Have you not seen that?
No, I haven't even heard of that.
It's
Alien Perspective.
Fantastic. Google this.
Well, I'll get to see it.
Perspective. I think it's one of the best I've seen in a long time. I'm often disappointed by documentaries. I feel like they fall short. This guy's a pro. He really is. I think it's awesome. It's worth looking at. He's going to world premiere part 2 of his.
Okay, right on. Dude, this is great.
We're also going to show a movie. Jeff Stein.
I'm not going to sleep at this thing.
You can't.
I don't. It's like so many people to hang out with, so many things to watch. Like take it. Oh my, this is information overload.
Yeah, bring a case of Monster with you. That's what I typically do. Big caffeine. So Jeff Stein, a filmmaker, is making a 10-year anniversary of Contact in the Desert documentary, and we're going to world premiere that at the event as well. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Oh my God, what a great year to go then for me. To be honest with you, right?
The hardest thing to do when you go to Contact in the Desert is when you pull out the book and you're like, okay, now what do I do at 4:00?
Sure.
Geez, there's 6 good options here.
Yeah.
These are good problems to have. Don't get me wrong, but that is the
problem,